Yeah, I'm starting to think this team kind of just doesn't have it. After a long 5-game road trip, the Canucks headed back to Vancouver to face off against the Montreal Canadiens. It was their first of back-to-back games. Their next one is against Edmonton, and this was kind of almost a must-win, if you can call it a must-win in October. They lost 2 games in a row. They lost some players on that road trip to injury. They slipped to 4-4, and losing this game would put them under 500. So it was pretty nice when they got off to a nice start. Garland played the puck to Pettersson, who had a lot of room to skate at center ice. He took it across the line, dropped it for Hronek, who took it out wide. DeBrusk caused a commotion at the front of the net, and Hronek got it right back to Pettersson with a beautiful cross-crease pass. Pettersson had basically the entire net to shoot at, and though he's missed that sometimes, he wasn't going to miss that one. He put it away. It was a 1-0 Canucks. Good start. And that was all the scoring in the first. They entered the second period with that 1-goal lead, which they expanded on. 7 minutes through, they got a power play. Pettersson passed it back to the point to Quinn Hughes, who slapped it, and after a couple deflections, including one off Jake DeBrusk, it found the back of the net. That was Jake DeBrusk's second goal of the season. Maybe he's going to start to come on pretty soon. He was our goals leader last year, so we need him to get on the board more often. But it was nice to see Pettersson have a multi-point game, and it was nice to see Quinn Hughes get on the board somehow, because there's been a lot of talk about him. And the Canucks finally scored a power play goal, which is a big thing, because going into this game, they were 14.3% for the season on the power play. But of course, once the power play finally came through, the penalty kill is what let us down. And now, instead of me having to relive what happened on the Habs side of things, I've got my good friend and co-Nux Memes YouTube showrunner thingy, whatever, Rory, to talk about it.
Ivan Demidov was moved to the top power play last game in Edmonton, but the less talked about power plays in that game, the better. This game was his true breakout on the power play. He's found instant chemistry with Nick Suzuki, doing a beautiful fake slap shot into a pass to the back door, where Suzuki finished it on a wide open net as Kevin Lankinen bit pretty hard to the shot. That got the Habs within 1 in the second period. The third period, a pretty soft tripping call in my opinion, got the Habs back to the power play to start the period. Demidov once again was at the heart of things. He took a shot from Lane Hudson off his chest, was able to find the puck on the floor first, got it across to Slafkovsky, who shot it into the back of the net. While his stick broke, making contact with Marcus Pettersson's stick, didn't matter. Another wide open net set up by Demidov, and another great play on the power play, which really needed it. Montreal's power play had been pretty weak so far this season. The third goal came soon after in the third period. A good shift by the dock line. Had Alex Carrier find Mike Matheson up front. He took a stride to the middle and threw a moving screen of Doc, and then Newhook beat Lankinen up over his shoulder. It was a pretty big goal for Matheson, who has played really well so far this season on that pair with Noah Dobson. And just to confirm that this was indeed the Ivan Demidov game, Carey got the puck at the point, found Demidov, who was open in the circle, who wired a one-timer over the glove of Kevin Lankinen, who maybe could have done a little bit better on the play, but it was a really well-placed shot right into the top corner. And that gave the Habs a 4-2 lead, which was really needed in the end.
To be clear, Kevin Lankinen needs to save that. That was terrible. Anyway, we moved to later in the period, where the Canucks pulled the goalie with 4 minutes left. Pretty ambitious. Pettersson had the puck at the point and saw Garland offering his stick up in the middle of the ice, high slot. Pettersson got it to him. Garland had a very nice deflection right into the top corner, made it 4-3, gave us some hope. And then later in the game, man, they had their chances after they pulled the goalie again. Brock Besser had the best one. Garland found him in the slot and just rolled right over his stick. Once he got a handle on it, it was too late. He shot it just barely wide. And the game ended. 4-3. Montreal. 3-game losing streak, under 500. The Canucks came out of the gates flying in this one, and I kind of expected that. It was after a 5-game road trip, which was pretty grueling, and it looked like they wanted to get back home. But good lord, did the wheels ever fall off the bus, and it's really the penalty kill that you can blame for that. I feel like I'm not happy with how it went today. I don't want this to seem like an excuse for the team, but there were a couple times where I think we just didn't really get the bounce. Especially on that Slafkovsky goal, it just went right to his stick, and he had the whole net to shoot at. It was pretty unfortunate a couple times for us. We didn't get the bounce at the end either when it went over Besser's stick. They didn't play well enough to win this game, but they also didn't have luck on their side. Okay, it's pretty obvious who the worst player for the Canucks was in this game, and we'll give Lankinen the pass. I think if you can't agree it was Evander Kane, you might need to get your eyes checked. Evander Kane doesn't know how to play the sport. He doesn't know what team he's on. I don't know if he knows what planet he's on. Maybe he's just not motivated enough because his boyfriend Kash Patel isn't in the audience anymore. I can't believe we made that trade, and it was bad when it happened, and so far he's given us absolutely nothing that we traded for him for. He was supposed to be gritty, he was supposed to be tough, and he was tough against Edmonton, but still didn't get in a fight. He didn't protect us against Jason Dickinson, he didn't protect us against Tom Wilson. Not standing up for his teammates, looked already mentally checked out. And then on the goal-scoring side of things, I thought coming in, okay, there's a chance that he can score 20 goals this season, be that kind of guy again. He's going to be on the first power play unit. He's probably going to get some good looks in the lineup. He can crash the net hard, even if he sucks in his own zone, which he does. I think he can probably still add some goals. He has no goals so far. He's so bad. I was told that he was going to be good for us. I actually had people straight up harassing me about the fact I didn't like the Evander Kane trade. And now look where we are. I know it's early in the season, we're 9 games through, but this isn't something that I envision getting better. And Lankinen was also awful. Terrible. That's the Lankinen that I expect. That game against Chicago, first of all, it's against Chicago. He did play a good game, but it's the Blackhawks. Other than that, this season, it's been deplorable. His save percentage is down to .873, and we gave him $4.5 million for 5 years. I don't know what's up with that. And we were concerned he wasn't NHL ready. He's been doing pretty decent in Pittsburgh, a lot better than Lankinen's doing in Vancouver, for a lot less money, at a lot younger of an age, and I don't think there's any chance they made the right decision there, and I didn't think they did at the time. I don't think so now. People are talking about Elias Pettersson being a buyout candidate, but that Lankinen contract looks like prime buyout. Can Nikita Tolopilo come up or something? Speaking of Elias Pettersson, there were some good things from this game, and Elias Pettersson, by far for the Canucks, the best thing that happened. 3-point game for Pettersson. He looked very engaged out there. He was trying hard, and it was finally falling for him. He got that goal. He got on the board again. He got 2 assists. He made some really nice plays, especially that play at the end to feed it to Garland in the high slot for the deflection. Perfect pass, knew exactly what he was doing there, and I think we should have put the puck on his stick more at the end of the game. I also think Hronek was pretty good today, even though at the end, for some reason, he was just up forward. He just was playing down low, which I don't know if that's the move for Phil Hronek, but so far this season, he has 5 points. I'll take that, I like Hronek so far this season, though. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, Reichel. Today was the Canucks' debut for Lukas Reichel, who really wasn't all that noticeable out there. There were some moments where he had some good bursts, but I'm not going to hold it against him or anything. His plane arrived in Vancouver 5 hours before game time. He was forced to play center, which he has played center in the past, but that man is a winger through and through. And if you can't tell that by the 20% face-off percentage that he had today, we might be screwed. He can't be deployed as a center. I don't care if it puts the rest of the lineup in order. We are going to waste him if we use him as a center, especially if he has to center Evander Kane, because that isn't getting anything done ever. So he wasn't impressive in his debut, but it's fine. I can understand why. Jumping into this new team right away, probably a little bit jet-lagged. It's fine. We'll see him better in the next week. I'm not going to make any judgments right now, but there really isn't a lot to say about his game today. I have to talk about the face-offs for this team because it is a problem, and Reichel is not the only problem on this team. Elias Pettersson, bad at face-offs. Max Sasson, bad at face-offs. Nils Oman, yeah. The Canucks are second to last in face-off percentage in the league, only ahead of Buffalo. Their face-off win percentage this season so far is 42%. That is atrocious. It could very well be at 33% if it weren't for my glorious king, Aatu Räty. I wonder what Ratu's at now. He's at probably 57 or something. Oh, I actually sniped it. Aatu Räty is 57% on face-offs this year. That is very, very good. And I think it's sustainable too. He was a good face-off guy last year. He really knows what he's doing. He's basically our only specialist at face-offs. I don't know why I said basically. He is our only face-off specialist, which has led to him getting a lot more ice time, especially these past 2 games late in the game with the empty net, needing to win that face-off. He's done it for us. I hope the scoring can come in soon. I hope that other people on this team learn how to take face-offs because it's a little bit hard to win games when you have the puck less. Anyway, with all that being said, I'm going to spin it over to Rory again to talk about the Canadiens a little bit, talk about the Canucks. This is the only time we're going to get to do this with our teams facing each other this year, due to the fact that I will be in Montreal for that other game.
Oh, do you want to be on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. The Canucks' quick start was pretty impressive in this game, considering for the past little bit, the Habs have been really good at getting on teams very early in periods and really getting after them, scoring the first goal. Conversely, the second period has been a struggle for Montreal. They've really struggled with the long change and having some extended shifts. This is a problem that's gone back a couple of seasons now, just getting hemmed in their own zone. They're improving at it, but it's not their biggest forte. I don't think Vancouver took advantage of that as much as they could. The possession really started to shift Montreal's way after the 2-0 goal for Vancouver, and then Montreal got the power play where they got it within one, and it was kind of their game up until the 4-2 goal where Vancouver was forced to push back. That being said, Vancouver's fight at the end was quite impressive to me. I thought Elias Pettersson had his best game of the season that I've seen. Obviously, the 3 points do showcase that, but just his ability to actually make plays, his ability to command the puck in the offensive zone, his ability to be really pinpoint with passes as seen on the Connor Garland 4-3 goal. It was kind of unlucky that Vancouver didn't tie it from a Canucks perspective, but Jakub Dobeš did stand tall in net. He made some big saves when he had to. There's been a little bit of a problem with him this season when it comes to commanding rebounds and maybe making pucks stick to him, but he's 5-0, so there's not a lot that you can really complain about with him. He's been really impressive, and it's pretty fair to say that he is the starting goalie for now, while Sam Montembeault struggles and tries to return to his best form. Lucas Reichel's debut is something I want to poke at a little bit too. He's a very speedy player. He's able to kind of transport the puck into the offensive zone. The biggest problem with him is being able to do that consistently and really control possession, because he's not the greatest defensive player, and he's a little bit prone to just getting the puck in and just giving it away and just kind of being anonymous on the ice. I think if he's played with players who can really kind of do the dirty work for him, I wonder if a pairing with Kiefer Sherwood would happen at any time this year. A guy who can match him with speed a little bit, but can also get in on the forecheck and kind of take the puck away. I know that was probably the idea with Evander Kane, but it's pretty clear that Kane just isn't that guy. He doesn't have the pace in his game anymore. He doesn't really have the drive.
Can you just say that he sucks?
He's not very good. I do think that giving him some consistent line mates and some good line mates could really kind of push him into being a nice solid middle six piece that can add some secondary scoring, which it does look like Vancouver need. But I do agree that he's not a center, and there should be a point where a center is acquired. Is there anything else?
Do the Ratu propaganda. You gotta do the Ratu propaganda.
Can I mention that I've been told to do the Ratu propaganda?
Oh, this is all gonna get in there.
It's pretty clear that he was the Canucks' second best center in this game. The faceoffs are a big part of his game. Even just being a faceoff get-off part, it is important to establish possession that way, especially in the offensive zone, late in games when you are chasing a goal. He's a good player. He's very dependable. I don't know what to say about Ratu. He's just a guy.
You know who is really just a guy? I wonder how much this can even hear me. Drew O'Connor. Drew O'Connor is just a guy out there.
The ability to roll 4 lines with Montreal kind of took over Vancouver this game, since Vancouver is dealing with a lot of injuries. And
this is gonna fucking suck to edit, Jesus.
Anyway, it was an interesting game. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know if he did.
I personally think I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight because my team is broken and they suck. We were doing quite well. We were 4-2, and then lost 3 players in one game. And now we just can't win. At least this was a better effort. If this were like a game that we just lose, and it's not our 3rd loss in a row to dip under 500, I think it's a loss that I could stomach a little more, because they showed fight. They didn't get blown out this time. It wasn't a depressing affair. They played decently. But the fact that we can't seem to win without Filipino, and the fact that we are under 500 and going to face Edmonton tomorrow makes me not love it. Anyway, this is already going to be a bitch to edit for me, so I'm just going to cut it there. We play Edmonton tomorrow. The other game against Edmonton this season wasn't fun. Hopefully this one's better. I actually struggle to think that they could possibly play worse than they did in that game. But the Canucks always find a way to surprise me. What do you think about this game? You think we're screwed? We might be screwed. Guys, are we screwed? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Thanks to Rory for coming over and talking in this video. Thanks to Atu Ratu for winning faceoffs.
Okay, I don't think I'm getting one of these right ever. I think it's over. I don't think it's happening. But whatever. We're back. I'll do it again. Tomorrow we face Edmonton, and I am thinking that we are going to get a goal from Drew O'Connor just because it's funny. Why not? I haven't said Drew O'Connor yet. Drew O'Connor is going to score tomorrow, and it's going to be incredible. I don't like that people are putting him in the same tier as Kane. Like, yeah, he sucks, but at least he's not Kane, you know? So I'll back him for today and tomorrow. I'll back him for today. This is coming out the same day as the Edmonton game. I'll back him for today. This team fucking sucks. Bye.